Listen, man. Every other second, every other minute, the situation with Sean Puffy Combs and those freak-offs is getting crazy. Now, I told you guys that there was many names, from Kevin Hart to Ray J to Fat Joe to I'm just saying, so many people. A lot of people is running and ducking and hiding for cover. Now we know that Homeland Security also ran into the home because there's probably some names of some high-powered people that was also in there that they don't want you to know about. But there was some, some parties that was going on where we saw images with Justin Bieber, with Will Smith's son grabbing onto his behind and hugging him from the back while he was rolling up, I guess, some weed or whatever. But we saw that image. But there was another image of there's another guy, Odell Beckham, and they're saying that Odell Beckham was also at those parties, doing, and he's already looked at as being suspect. We look at Odell Beckham and a lot of his ways, he can't even hide it. To me, the guy's flaming, right? But there was video footage. There was video footage in a club where he was doing something to Justin Bieber. Now, remember when Justin Bieber came into the league, he was just a young kid, and there was video of him and Puffy was saying, "Why you won't call me? Why you not answering my calls?" Puffy was on him. Puffy was on him, the same way he was on Usher. When he had Usher when Usher was a kid. A lot of times I always ask, like, where does these parents be? This thing get real goofy and get real crazy. Like, how does they have access? Like, I don't let my son go nowhere without me. How does these grown men have access to these young men like that with no parental supervision? With all the stuff that go on in the industry. So we saw that image of him doing whatever he was. You can tell that they all was intoxicated. Justin Bieber, he looked up, he's looking very disheveled. He don't understand what just happened. And, it looks real crazy. Well, Candace Owens, she took to social media and she spoke on this and she said this.
Final entry of the memoir from Kim Porter before she mysteriously got pneumonia and didn't survive it as a 47-year-old is her dramatically telling her friends, quote, "He got me," and then calling 911. So this is getting very interesting. And what has come on the heels of this is people unearthing videos of Justin Bieber at Diddy parties. Now, Justin Bieber was obviously extremely young when he entered the industry, extremely innocent when he entered the industry, an industry that he did not quite understand as a boy who just knew how to sing and play the guitar and just did both of those things on YouTube. And then he was scooped up and suddenly he was a part of people like Diddy going after him and saying, "Hey man, why don't you pick up my phone calls?" There's actually a video of that. Diddy and Justin Bieber looks to be like 15 years old and said, "Why aren't you picking up my phone calls?" And he's like, "Oh, I know you were trying to contact me through people and I don't have your number." And the next thing we know, Justin is at Diddy's parties. And in this one video, it looks like whatever Justin is doing, and I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim. But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober. He is clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And if you remember that lawsuit that the producer Rodney dropped against Diddy, he said that unbeknownst to all of these people, they were being drugged at Diddy's parties, that they were pouring out the liquor bottles and replacing it with other drugs. He kept speaking about this pink drug, this mix, this cocktail of cocaine and MDMA, and that people that think they're just drinking vodka or just drinking water are actually all being drugged. And then once they're drugged, they do very vulnerable things. It has long been suspected that the person that people are now putting the dots together in Kim Porter's allegations that Diddy had under his thumb was Justin Bieber, and that he may have done some inappropriate things with him. And what I will say is that this very much fits the narrative. We saw tons of videos of Justin Bieber. When he got together with Hailey, he was crying a lot outside of churches. He was finding his way back to God, but he was having a lot of emotional breakdowns. And what I sensed from those public emotional breakdowns, and only public, obviously, because the press was following him, was that he was coming to terms with the fact that he had been engaged in darkness unwillingly. And Justin Bieber probably has a lot of shame about that. He probably feels shame, first and foremost, as a man, as a husband, and as someone who has successfully created a new life for himself with his wife, Hailey Bieber. And so what I want to say to Justin Bieber and to everybody that's following the situation is that Justin Bieber is a victim. I was horrified when I saw this, not because of the idea that Justin Bieber would be engaged in these sorts of things at these parties, but because I understood that this was a kid who was intentionally targeted by Diddy, as the videos show, told that he wants to party with him. He makes it clear that Diddy is trying to contact him through people, and then he finally subjects himself and agrees to give his number. And then we saw an entirely different Justin Bieber. We saw Justin Bieber who was always wearing sunglasses, who was partying, who was very obviously involved in drugs. He spoke at length about his addiction. And Justin Bieber didn't do that to himself. Like I said, Justin Bieber was, in my view, a child victim. And as these videos are circulating on the internet, I want to make sure people remember that and give him the grace as someone who has somehow survived this, turned to family, turned to faith, and is still very much struggling with all of this. For people to give him the grace and the courage and the prayers to hopefully one day find within himself the strength to speak out about what happened.
This industry is an unforgiving place, you know, and we're in a time now where the swamp is being drained. And I'm saying this over and over again. You know, they're saying that Diddy is on a hunger strike right now while he's in the prison. I think he's still in that same prison in Brooklyn. They're also saying that he's going to take the stand. Now, if he takes the stand and testify, and he began to name names, because remember, Homeland Security went into P. Diddy's home, and they retrieved some items from his house. But I'm sure he had got those tapes dubbed by now, and he's probably saying, if anything happened to me, those tapes are going to be released. So he still has some sort of power that he's still wielding, right? And that's why I believe that he's going to take the stand, because he's putting some people on notice like, listen, I got dirt on all y'all, and if I'm going down like Nino Brown, everybody going down. I'm taking everybody down with me. And I think that that's where he may be leaning to. You know, like I said, for a long time, he was able to run. And I want to know, like, where was Justin Bieber's parents at during all this time? The same way with Usher. Where was Usher's parents at? Aaliyah. Where was Aaliyah's parents at? Cassie. Where was Cassie's parents at? Even though she was of age, 18, 19 years old, she still was very, very, very young. Where was her parents at for her protection and guidance from people of the industry? Because a lot of these children, the men and the guys, they get passed around like frisbees. Because you got a lot of vicious, vile, bad people in this industry. And it's been this way since the industry was created. It's been this way. So when we see these stories are being told, but we've been blowing the whistle for years, talking about Hollywood and the industry and all the things that they do, that audition couch, riding in those limousines with those people. What are you willing to do for a contract? We've been talking about this stuff. This ain't nothing new. So when you look at the things that they say that happened to Justin Bieber, what about Usher? What happened to Usher? It's so many of them. It's so many of them, what they done. We saw the thing go on with, was it Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever they had going on over there that they try to cover up. So there's a lot of wicked stuff that's been going on. And like I said, Justin Bieber is just one of the kids that they got. But I want to know how would they even have access to him like that? But like I said, there's just a lot of weird stuff that go on, man. But if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.